Nature. I haven't missed one day, and I'm loving the product. I feel better. My wife has noticed that I felt better, and I've noticed that I want to get up and go piddle in the garage and, do something that doesn't matter to anybody on earth but me, but I have the energy to where I want to do that. So I really think Balance of Nature is helping me.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Airport. This is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Southwest Georgia Farm Credit, based in Bainbridge, Georgia, in the tri-state area, is pleased to announce that they will work with the eligible borrowers throughout the food supply chain to provide loans through the USDA's new Food Supply Chain Guaranteed Loan Program. The program, which makes available nearly $1 billion in loan guarantees, will back private investments in processing and food supply infrastructure, all designed to strengthen the food supply chain. Right here in Southwest Georgia and Alabama and Florida, they recognize that there are opportunities for expansion for facilities of transportation services that could help alleviate bottlenecks that also impact our farmers. According to Mr. Poilevant with the Southwest Georgia Farm Credit, these guaranteed loans offer the prospect for significant expansion in our area for warehouses, storage, shelling facilities, meat processing plants, also as well as transporting, wholesaling, or distributing food, and much, much more. Through this program, USDA will partner with the lenders like Southwest Georgia Farm Credit and guarantee the loan up to $40 million. There's no guarantees or annual fees, only reasonable and customary fees between the borrower and the lender. The loans must not exceed 40 years. That's a good program making guaranteed loans available in the tri-state area.
Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. Prepare your farm with an on-farm readiness review. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide this on-site preparation service for free. Our team of produce safety experts offer individualized support to make sure your operation meets the regulatory requirements. Contact us to help prepare your farm today. Request your free visit at www.fdacs.gov/OFRR. That's www.fdacs.gov/OFRR.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Nobody does spring planting like Rural King, and nobody beats our prices on farm and home favorites, like our own lawn and garden batteries for just $19.99, or 1 cubic foot bags of all-purpose topsoil, just $1.89 a piece, and everything looks better with fresh mulch. Get 2 cubic foot bags in cypress, red, brown, or black, just $2.49 a piece. Stock up today at ruralking.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have plenty of sunshine today with a high of 83 to 87, and mainly clear tonight, low 64 to 68. Pleasant day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. High tomorrow, 86 to 90. Then clouds and sunshine Thursday with a high of 86 to 92. Thunderstorm in parts of the area on Friday. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com. right. It's Master Gardener, Carol Ann Baldwin. She's in studio taking your calls. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want advice. I know we took quite a bit explaining the roles of volunteer Master Gardeners, but it was just something that I think a lot of people had a good understanding of. So people think that a lot of times, she's a Master Gardener. Wonder how much she makes.
Yeah.
That would be nothing.
Right. Exactly. whatever my wage is there where I work is what I make. And I appreciate that because it is one of those kind of things that each year too is that there's also recertification, basically, that you continue learning every year. And that's how you continue. You continue your volunteer time, you continue your educational hours, and in order to continue that title of Master Gardener.
And by the way, part of her learning experience is when you call with problems that, remember, her goal, she stated at the beginning when she became Master Gardener, was to show you how to find the answer.
Yeah.
Or help you find the answer.
Yeah.
So sometimes her learning process is generated through questions you guys ask.
Exactly, yeah. What you ask and what, excuse me, I got a little frog there.
Is it an invasive species?
I don't think so. I already had the antibiotics for that one.
Okay. But yeah, a lot of how you learn and a lot is through people asking questions.
Asking questions, and you learn to find the answer because you want,
And there's no dumb questions, folks.
There's never, and people say, oh, I got probably a stupid question. Go, yeah, not really. No. I said, no, what, the answer might be a little silly for you, but it's not a dumb question if it's a question.
Good morning. You're on with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin.
Good morning, Carol.
Hey, good morning, Sonny.
Quick little sidebar. You went to the place by the, Jackson Avenue there.
Oh, yeah, the Livestock Pavilion, the Extension office, yeah.
I went in there, I had to wait a while, then they give you a little piece of a printout with a couple of black and white pictures.
Right.
I can call you and get more information in 1 minute than what I would ever learn from my past experience there.
I appreciate sometimes it's not quite what you're looking for when you go in and their access to stuff. What's nice though is if you can get that printout, that a lot of times it'll give you that information in black and white. You don't have to try to remember what I said or write down things. So the office there still has a good resource.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the air, and I appreciate WOCA for having you on the air.
Appreciate it.
It's really a public service.
Thank you so much.
Now, to get back to my question, I have two plants.
Okay.
One on each side of the corner of my backyard.
Uh-huh.
One looks fabulous, and the other one looks kind of scrawny and everything. I trimmed it. I trimmed them both earlier this year, and I put some fertilizer down. They are green plants all year long.
Okay.
I don't know their names. I have to show you a leaf or something.
Sure.
But, like I said, one is all beautiful green. It's been trimmed. It's doing things. The one I got over here, looks like it wants to bloom, but it doesn't.
Okay.
I put some evergreen fertilizer down.
Okay.
And I've been watering it in.
Okay.
Actually, I've been slipped on the watering. I was busy chopping the weeds and doing other things, edging, trimming, and whatever. And I don't have the steam I used to have. So
sure.
I conked out. I should have watered this thing, but I think what would you say to watering this plant more frequently? The fertilizer is time release fertilizer.
Okay, so you've got a good time release on there, and I would probably say because it's been in the ground for a while, I would just because you're trying to nurse this one back a little bit. I'd probably be going about once every 10 days, just giving it a good drink. So every 10 days to 2 weeks if we don't get rain. Yeah, we have had a couple of really big rain events recently, so it's probably not lacking too much. but I would, because you're trying to bolster this one back up. How long is that slow release? Is it one of those ones that lasts for like 6 months, or is it one that's about a 3 month?
It's about a 3 month.
Okay, you can even go because you are adding a little more water, so you're giving, sort of washing some of that fertilizer through a little more often. Excuse me. I would probably say after about 6 weeks, 8 weeks after that application is do a light application after that, and then say every 6 weeks after a very light application, and that way it's got a little steadier feeding, like having your bowl of cereal every morning and then not skipping meals for a few weeks or getting a very lax meal. So I would probably use that fertilizer about every 6 to 8 weeks, just lightly.
Yeah, I put it into a cheese, Parmesan cheese container with the little holes, like a shaker. And I've been using that kind of that system to put the fertilizer down, rather than just by hand or whatever.
Right. How big is the shrub?
Oh, it's. Well, it's as high as a chain link fence. It's about 4 foot, maybe a little more.
Okay. I would figure that 1 pound Parmesan cheese shaker, you're needing to be putting probably about one of those on there to give it a really good feeding.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. I would probably, or get you one of the red Solo cups and use one of those and just sling it up underneath there real well, just not in the stems, and that would probably be a better amount of fertilizer than versus just shaking some out a little bit, but probably about one of those cups.
Well, you can measure it by putting in like a half a container or something.
Right, yes.
A cup worth.
Right.
But as I'm looking at the plant right now, I can see daylight right through it. And the other plant, you can't.
Right. Is the one that's struggling, has anything changed around it? Has any shrubs or other trees overgrown it to where they're shading it?
No. Well, yeah, I have a little, my neighbor's tree could give it a little shade.
Yeah, that I was gonna.
Sometime, but not all day.
Not all day. Okay. It just may, each plant is different. I would probably just try the little more frequently on the fertilization, and maybe it sounds like maybe needing to put a little more than maybe what you were doing. So approximately one of that shaker container underneath there. Good watering afterwards, but do the fertilization about every 6 to 8 weeks.
But since I can see through the thing, could I just shaker it on top?
I wouldn't shaker it on top, only because you don't want it to get down in those stems in the middle. Oh. You want it to be between those stems and where the outside edge. So I'd probably stand on the outside and throw it in.
This is also the plant that I told you about a while back that has a palm growing in the center.
Oh, in the middle of it? Yeah, that might be stealing a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I've been cutting it, keeping it short.
Yeah.
It's a real miserable job because of the branches and stuff just dig into your arm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's probably stealing some nutrition from that shrub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, other than the crazy weather we had last weekend, I guess things are coming along. My grass is nice and green.
Yes, yeah.
My grass-weed combination,
that's all right. If it's green, mow it.
Okay, Carolina, thank you so much for your time. Thank you
you're welcome.
For your help, and thanks, WOCA. Thank you, Tom. Have a good day now.
Thanks for the call, Sonny.
Yeah,
I thought when Sonny was, I was like, is that the same plant that has the palm coming up through the middle of it?
Yeah, I was thinking that there's something going on that one, and that might be tough to try to get that, getting up and going. But I think, especially because the palm, in order to keep that palm out of there or try to kill that palm out of there, is you've got to just keep cutting that off. And if you can get the density of the shrub back, it's going to be harder to keep cutting that palm, because I don't think that's going to shade that palm out as much as we'd like.
And with the fertilization of that,
it's going to encourage
the
that
palm's
palm.
liking that too.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's almost a no-win.
It's a catch-22.
Yes, it is.
It's really a catch-22. 352-622-9622 is the number to call if you want to ask Carol Ann any questions. 352-622-9622 is the number to call here at the studio to talk to Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. So I'll give you an update.
Okay. Oh, on that citrus trees?
The citrus trees.
Okay.
They're really bushes now.
Okay.
I mean, at the bottom by the graft, they're probably the size of a small volleyball in bush.
Okay.
But the thing is, you said find the one that's growing the straightest.
Yeah.
They're all kind of growing bush
out.
So
you're going to have a bush.
Yeah, they're just
it's going to be a bush.
It's kind of just
That's
growing.
All right.
I mean, it'll get taller. I'm sure it'll get taller.
It'll get taller, and as it gets taller, you would be able to take off lower
and create
branches
the tree again.
And get
right.
well, or at least be able to get as the tree gets bigger. Just something a little, it'll probably be a little shorter.
But if we can get it up to about 4 feet tall,
that'll be nice.
And then it blooms and everything. Then I don't have to get a ladder out to get the fruit off. I'm okay with it.
You'll be good.
4 or 5 feet tall, I'm good.
It's spectacular. Yeah.
I mean, I drive through when I go out on the other side of Lake Weir or to Lake County and everything.
Oh yeah.
You'll see some of those orange groves out there. The trees aren't but 5-6 feet tall.
Yeah, they usually, I want to say, keep them maybe 8 to 10. Some of
but some of them are shorter.
Right,
I'm like, that's the ones I'd rather have.
That's it. They're the ones you can reach the top of.
I've seen a friend of mine go into a 10-foot grapefruit tree and lose their grip and tumble out.
Yeah, that's when you get the big picker pole.
Yeah, I've seen and the scars and cuts on the leg and everything as you're bouncing off. It's not good. Not
good.
No. But they come back fine though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But right where the pool noodles were.
Right.
So the pool noodles really protected them very, very well.
Did insulate that. Thinking of Sonny's palm tree, somebody had a question on one of the Facebook pages and had asked about how to get rid of poison ivy or the poison ivy that's popping up, and you can see it now. And luckily, it's still springtime, so a lot of stuff hasn't really fully flushed out.
It seems like the poison ivy is blowing up.
You can see your poison ivy, and my recommendation to them was get yourself suited up, per the PPE that a brush killer is going to tell you to use. Your regular weed and grass killers, usually they will knock it back, but it really doesn't get into that real. They have such a heavy duty root system that it doesn't really get down in there enough. But get you a brush killer. Triclopor is what you're looking for as a chemical. I don't know if there's any others that are actually better than that, but that one is a brush killer. It goes through woody plant material, and start taking care of that if you have to, because it's intermingled within other plants. Is wearing your gloves, wearing your long sleeves and everything. Pull that out to where you can spray.
Right.
It's the brush killer doesn't kill weeds and grasses. So, but it will kill anything that's a woody shrub. So you don't want to spray it over top of the azaleas because it'll kill the azaleas too. But if you can pull it out of there, lay it on some newspaper, lay it on one of your brown lawn bags, and spray it that way and allow that to be absorbed in. Brush killers don't kill overnight. They won't show wilt overnight, and you don't need them to. And it does take a couple weeks for that to get fully down into where it's really working on that root system, and it may still need repeat application.
I was planning a golf course recently, and I saw a golf course maintenance guy spray in the woods.
Yeah.
And I go, what's he spraying the woods for?
Poison ivy.
Not the golf course, it's the woods. Come to find out, he said that they were spraying for poison ivy because they've had 10 or 15 golfers that have got poison ivy.
You go after your golf ball. Because didn't you say Dan has a tendency to like to play in the woods?
Dan, no, not a tendency.
That's where he likes to play.
Yeah, Dan has a tendency to play. Yeah, he has an affinity for the woods. He has a tendency to play in the fairway every now and then.
Every so often. Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean that's one of those kind of things. So going around now,
so they were literally treating the brush with brush killer to kill the poison ivy.
The poison ivy. Same thing with your Smilex vine. That's your, the bullbriar. that thing has a huge storage system for energy. So if you just snip that off, it's going to come back. If you just spray it with weed and grass killer, it's going to come back. It takes quite a bit of doing to actually get rid of that or to get that down under control. With the poison ivy, once you've killed that off, do not burn it. Remember what we said, do not put it in your yard trash. Put it in the garbage. Wad that stuff up, put it in the garbage.
Tell people again, because somebody won't remember.
If you burn
why don't you burn it?
If you burn it, even though it's dry, those oils are still there and will carry in the wind. You will get it in your eyes, in your nose,
and then your eyes will swell up and shut because you'll have poison ivy.
You can have a very serious reaction, and anyone who lives near you can have a very serious reaction to it. So, use it, be very cautious with your poison ivy and things like that. But this is the time of year, those little wild mulberry trees, those things are a bane of my existence. Again, brush killer, weed and grass killer will wilt them off, but they don't kill them, because that root system, wherever you see a wild mulberry tree, those are the ones that make that little orange, little orange ball. The leaves are massive. They will take over, and they are invasive. But they'll send just a ground root, and boop, one will pop up.
How hardy must trees be for the brush killer not to get them?
Palm tree. That's about. I mean, pretty much. Don't spray. Do not spray anything you do not want to kill, because it could weaken.
So even
or
a 3 or 4 inch, 5 inch around
oak
sapling or something could die.
It's possible. It's possible, because it is, oak trees are listed on the label of something that it would kill. So you don't want to spray it. Now, if your poison ivy is running up the tree, get you a paintbrush, or again, cut it back to about 4 feet. Leave that vine up there. It'll wither and die, and pull that one off to where you can treat.
Spray it, right.
And pull it off wearing your throwaway, and I say throwaway gloves, or keep yourself a pair of the heavier duty, like chemical resistant gloves, or the blue, nitrile, however you say that, the nitrile.
My mom, when she would go out there,
or the Playtex kitchen gloves.
Yeah, that's what she would take, the gold, the yellow Playtex
gloves,
and then she would take and put her sleeves into the gloves, and then she'd take duct tape and duct tape, because she was, if you could get poison ivy, my mom would get it.
Okay, yeah.
And she would go out there, because where we lived in Jacksonville, poison ivy would come out of the woods, and they'd go after her rose bushes.
Yeah,
because the rose bushes weren't very far from the tree line, and for some reason she said, that ivy loves my rose bushes.
Yeah.
She thought that the ivy was coming after rose bushes.
Coming after the roses. It's just, it was a nice sunny, it was a good area with plenty of water.
Right. And she would never, we didn't have the chemicals at all back then. She would just go cut it at the ground
and
rip
pull
it out and
out,
make a pile of it.
Yeah.
And that's where we learned you don't burn it. Because we burned it. My little sister was standing downwind, and the wind got all over. My little sister, for like 3.5, 4 weeks, had to go get the shots and everything. She was like 7 years old. It wasn't good.
Miserable.
And that's when we learned you don't burn poison ivy.
Don't burn poison ivy. But take care before everything starts growing up, because once it starts growing, you really can't do much.
And you can't see it.
You can't see it. It's up into your shrubbery, and in order to get it out, you actually have to pull it out of there in order to treat it. So springtime's a good time to start to get a good handle on it.
We have a big oak tree in our front yard, and I noticed something the other day that just is the most unique. And I'm sure you're going to tell me how it happened or something. It's a full oak tree, big crown of an oak tree. And then right in the middle of it is probably a hole that's 15 foot wide by 15 foot tall. And now in that hole, it's a receded hole, not in the tree, in the bush of the tree.
Like a big gap. In the canopy.
Right, a big gap. But at the back of that gap, new green is starting to grow back out. So you can tell it's going to fill in a few years or a few years.
Right.
But there's like a crater in the canopy of this oak tree.
And it's not under the power lines.
It is not under the power lines.
Okay, where they've cut it. It might have just been the original pruning of the tree, or pruning that happened.
Somebody, because it's like a perfect circle.
Oh, that's
and it's
weird.
a big. It's like it looks like a moon crater in the front part of this oak tree.
Okay.
And I pointed it out to my wife the other day. She goes, That is a big gap, but look
That's-
at the new
yeah, but
growth.
all kinds of
And
new
when you
growth
look in the
coming
back of it, you can look in the and from the center, from the
You
trunk
can
of the
see
tree,
the new growth
it's coming
coming
from the
out.
trunk
Yeah,
of the tree
yeah.
to fill in that gap.
Right, and it could be.
But who
just
knows what caused that gap?
Could have been squirrels chewing on branches. Could have been twig girdlers that go through, and you find after a good windstorm, especially in the springtime, you see all these little pieces of a branch on the ground, and they're little tiny, and I'm measuring about a 3 to 4 inch piece, and that's where something actually has chewed part of that. Wind comes along, blows all that out of the trees, and so then you got.
But this is 15 by 15. It's a perfect and a
Wow.
perfect circle.
That's crazy.
But you can see new life coming.
So long
at
as
the
you're
back
seeing,
of it.
right? So long as you're seeing new growth and you're not seeing limbs dying off or anything like that.
And it's going to fill in. You can tell the way the new growth is, because as the crater is, the bottom of the crater is a little smaller than the opening.
Right.
You can see the entire bottom is like lush green
Okay.
and bushy.
All nice new,
so
all nice
it's
new
coming
stuff
out.
coming out.
But and I have no idea how long it'll take, because it's a water oak. So I have,
Right.
it's a big old water oak though.
Is it?
It's not tall.
Right. Just well, they're wide. Yeah.
But I say it's water oak because, tell me if I'm right. We got a few seconds. My way of telling the difference between live oak and water oak, and I know live oaks had the limbs, big limbs, but and in young trees, young oak trees, the way I tell the difference between live oak and water oaks, there you can see their roots above the ground a lot of times. Live oaks, you can't see their roots above the ground.
That might be. I'm not real sure on that because
Because we got a live oak in the yard that's about the same size.
Right.
And you can't.
The roots are nice.
You can
and
mow
flush.
right over it, no
right,
problem.
Nice nice.
The water oak in the front yard.
They might. Yeah.
You'll tear a lawnmower up.
Right. Right.
And a lot of people have told me that's why water oaks fall so easy. Is the
Is
root
that the
systems
roots aren't quite as deep that they're going after because they grab that groundwater and go with that.
Water oaks are dangerous trees.
Yeah, they are.
Dangerous trees.
Got a great big one myself.
I have 3 great big ones.
Mine's like 15
I have 3
feet
great.
off the
I have
house.
3 great big ones that are no matter if they fell towards the house, there's no chance they're missing.
Oh yeah, no.
There's
If mine
no
falls,
chance.
it's going to hit the house before it's even quarter of the way over.
Yeah, there's no chance it's missing. So
I just have to hope it falls the other way.
But 2 of them, if they do hit the house, they would only hit the garage.
Oh.
If they fell a certain way, they'd only hit the garage.
No, mine would
So
take out the whole thing.
That helps.
Yeah,
that helps.
That does.
Carol Ann, where can people find you?
They can go to the In the Garden Facebook group page and ask questions, post pictures. We welcome that aboard. And you can find me down there at Lowe's and Lady Lake in the Garden Center.
In the Garden Center. Remember, she's a volunteer.
Yeah, but there I'm paid.
She makes money at Lowe's. So when you go in and ask her for information at Lowe's, that helps her with her bosses that pay her.
That's it. That's it.
Carol Ann, it's been great this week, and I look forward to talking to you next week.
Yes.
More questions about gardening next
yeah.
week with In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Coming up next, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto. He is in the building. Looks like he got his ears lowered, too, since the last time I seen him. Probably a little cooler out there in this summer heat. We'll talk with Matt from Sunrise Auto after this time out. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
President Biden will be in Menlo, Iowa later today and is expected to announce his steps his administration is taking to address rising gasoline prices across the country. His plan includes the Environmental Protection Agency issue an emergency waiver permitting year-round sales of E15 gasoline, or ethanol gasoline. It should be noted ethanol gasoline burns dirtier and creates more ozone or smog in the atmosphere. As India has been soft on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, President Biden and Prime Minister Modi conference called each other Monday. White House spokesperson Jen Psaki describes the conversation.
This was a constructive call. It was a productive call. It's a relationship that is vitally important to the United States and to the president. I would not see it as an adversarial call.
Thanks for listening. It's well appreciated. We are USA Radio News.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free.
Thanks, Pat. Call toll-free 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490.
Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Again, 800-630-1490. 800-630-1490 today.
Or at SwissAmerica.com.
Finding the truth about pesticides on produce. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. Prepare your farm with an on-farm readiness review. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide this on-site preparation service for free. Our team of produce safety experts offer individualized support to make sure your operation meets the regulatory requirements. Contact us to help prepare your farm today. Request your free visit at www.fdacs.gov/OFRR. That's www.fdacs.gov/OFRR.
The USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service has a program to reward and encourage environmental stewardship for ag and forestry producers. The Conservation Stewardship Program, or CSP, is voluntary. Applicants must be USDA operators. CSP participants will adopt new conservation practices and manage existing ones. For more information on CSP, visit nrcs.usda.gov or call NRCS. Helping people help the land.
Each year, an anti-conventional farming organization puts out a list of fresh produce products that they claim are contaminated with harmful pesticide residues. However, there is no scientific evidence to support their claims, and they're simply false. Another organization works to fight that misinformation. Teresa Thorne is with the Alliance for Food and Farming.
Decades of studies and toxicology studies, along with government sampling data that overwhelmingly shows the safety of organic and non-organic produce.
She says misinformation can be very harmful.
Seeing food prices go up, seeing reports of 13 million children living in food insecure households. To take the more affordable and accessible